Okay, we should be live. If you'll notice, I received that shirt that I ordered.
Ah,
The
yes. Wow, that came
knockoff.
in quick. Nice.
Yeah. Right, less than a week. I think I ordered it. I don't know. Yeah, about a week. I don't know if the print is the same quality as maybe the Apple Store, but it is
Oh,
a
yeah, makes sense. Makes
it's a
sense.
nicely put together shirt. I mean, I'm happy with it, especially
Yeah.
for the price. I've been experimenting with lights here, and I've got the logo now, at least backlit. I think I've got like a smart light cycling through colors there, just lighting it up from behind. I think I could put that light inside the Apple case. I don't. Did you haven't taken one of those things apart, have you? Are they glued? Do you know? I think they
No,
are.
no,
Right?
no, no. The no,
They
once you
snap
pop
together.
the light out, it just comes out. Now it is a weird light bulb size.
No, I'm talking about
So
the case itself.
oh
Taking
no,
it
no, it
apart.
does not come apart. No, that is
Just
glued
once.
together. Yes, you can do it once.
Oh,
You can take it apart once.
yeah. Well, I could, and then glue it back together and stick this light inside,
Yeah.
potentially. Mm-hmm. No magic rugs today. Um, part two. Um, part two is happening, but just not today.
Got it. Okay,
I
so you were
had
able to
yeah.
contact.
I had a
Okay,
nice
great.
long talk with Myra on the phone. She's got a couple of art shows. I think she's traveling for those, so this wasn't good timing. But I think next week will, or the week after, something like that. But yeah, it will happen. And we spoke for a while, and she gave me some really other interesting information.
Nice.
Essentially, told me the whole story of how the rugs, the wall hanging, how it all came together, and
Well, that sounds like it's going to be a great.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we won't do it live. We won't stream it. I will probably record the video with her
Yeah.
separately, and then we'll play it
That sounds good.
during this time slot, whatever week that happens to be.
I see we've got a lot of people online today. Hey, everyone. Scarlet
Oh,
Swordfish, shout out
mhm.
to him. I watched a great Twitch. It was my first time. I had to log in. I had to sign up for Twitch so I could watch this. Him and some friends are doing a port of an old Ambrosia game called Avera, that I had never heard of before. It's pretty cool. It's kind of a cross between Spectre, that Polygon tank game, and Unreal Tournament. And
Hmm.
and I think we just maybe need to have Scarlett on to talk about this
Mm-hmm.
at some point, because it just kind of the bits and pieces that when they were talking about some of the stuff that they had to do, it seems pretty interesting stuff what they had to do to get the game on modern hardware. So it was a good time watching that.
All right. Why don't we get the show going, huh?
Sounds
You
good.
ready?
Yeah.
Okay. In 3, 2, well, stand by. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John. This is episode 587 for September 19th, 2021. Good morning, John.
Good morning, James.
I see behind you, you have the subject of our segment today.
Yeah.
My
Quite
old
excited.
portrait monitor.
Yep.
The Apple portrait monitor. A weird beast. I'm not sure we must have
I'm
talked
sure
about
we've
the
mentioned it.
monitors. I think
Yes,
we went through
but
the displays or something at one point in the
yeah.
show. Years ago, probably. It's worth a revisit now that we have one up and running.
Up and
So
running.
we'll
Yeah.
talk about that. Talk about the details of that. A minor miracle that it's still working, really.
Yes, especially
So
since
we
one
have
of the other monitors I got from you.
Oh yeah.
I tested it, and it released the magic smoke. So
That was What was that?
Just
Monitor
one of
3?
the no, it was
What was
one
it?
of the Macintosh, fixed resolution,
Oh,
like 512 by
CRTs, the color.
384s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
Poof.
is it even worth messing with at this point?
I'm
Do you
gonna
think?
take it apart. I bet it's a
Uh huh.
capacitor, just like
Yeah.
everything else. It's 90% chance it's a capacitor. So
Hmm.
I'll add it to my stack of projects. I did just get some. I've got some cap kits on order for the analog boards and logic boards for the Mac Plus. I want to get
Hmm.
my Jimmy Doohan signed Mac Plus back up and running.
Oh.
So yeah. So and those that's actually, I mean, if you're gonna try recapping something for the first time, the Mac Plus and the analog board are pretty easy because it's through the whole capacitors versus the surface mount. So if you're trying to get your feet wet on something, that's a good one to start with.
Hmm. Hmm. Awesome. Well, why don't we get to some eBay finds so we can talk about the monitor? So we'll be right back with that. All right. Wow. Lots of people in the chat. Good to see everyone. Apple's Anonymous. I had a few of those portrait monitors.
Nice. Sounds like Apple's Anonymous is coming out of London. Did I read that correctly
Is that right?
in the chain
Well, it is
here?
anonymous.
I didn't say where.
Oh, it's a big city. Okay, let's see. We
Hang
will
on,
switch
let me
gears, huh?
yeah. I'm just bringing up. You're trying to bring up the links. Here we are.
All right. Ready to go?
I am ready.
All right. In 3, 2, 1. Let's take a look at the eBay finds from last week. Everybody should have one of those commemorative posters of the Macintosh. 20 years they celebrated with the picture of the hammer thrower from the original 1984 Macintosh ad. Of course, this one she's sporting an iPod. And the seller still has 2 of these available for a buy now of $39.99.
Man.
Quite a deal. The Macintosh SE did not sell, was relisted, and now has a starting bid of $150, or you can make an offer. And the license plate frame, the essential accessory for your new Apple car. Oh, I wasn't supposed to verify that.
Call
Sorry,
out the Apple
we'll edit that
Ninjas.
out. Yeah. Oh, that's right. This is live. Just everybody's sworn to secrecy. That is
We're gonna
not
have to
coming
have
out.
everyone sign an NDA now.
Yeah, you'll want one of these though. $399 still available. Well, maybe not at that price, right? Okay. Also, to put on your new cannot confirm or deny the new Apple car is a bumper sticker. People still put bumper stickers on, right? We still have bumpers. Bumpers are all they're like integrated now, right? They don't even
Yeah, it's all part of it, right?
You're right.
Yeah.
It's all molded into all the plastics of your car. But once upon a time, there used to be discrete bumpers, and people would put stickers on them. I guess now they just put stickers wherever. But anyway, the I'd rather be driving a Macintosh bumper stickers were really cool. I don't know if they just gave these away at the stores. I think it probably coincided with the test drive of Macintosh, the whole driving theme. There's that great poster of or the signage for the test drive of Macintosh with the hand, the driving glove holding the mouse.
Didn't we
Anyway,
actually talk to that guy?
Talk to the guy.
Yeah, I
The
swear
hand model.
the hand model. Yeah, I swear we had
I
some
don't
sort of
recall.
correspondence with him. Okay, or maybe I just read an article. It's
I don't remember that.
so fuzzy. All right. Anyway,
Anyway,
yes.
there's a pair of these stickers plus a lapel pin, 6-color Apple logo lapel pin, and these don't look. I mean, they look legit, not like reprints or something. I mean, because you could theoretically you could make your own if you wanted.
Yeah.
You know, these are glossy. You can see the back how it's just how they might have been. 6-color Apple logo pin. Nice little set here. Buy it now, or I should say, starting bid, $49, or you can make an offer. Yeah, you
That's
could reproduce
fantastic.
these, right? Be easy
Sure,
enough to
yeah.
do.
Well, but the lapel
then-
pin is,
Well, that
that's
one
not
you
as
couldn't. That'd be a
repro-
little harder,
Right.
right? And even the stickers, because it's like a heavy vinyl thick. I mean,
Yeah.
there must be some places that you can go to get custom bumper stickers made. But sharp looking bumper sticker nonetheless. I think I've got a stack of them somewhere that I collected over the years. Let's see. This ends in 4 days. Okay.
All right. Next up, we have a vintage Apple Power Macintosh G4 dual processor. This is the quad nostril version. Also comes with a 17-inch studio display. No hard drive. I hope the hard drive caddy is still in there. That's the important thing. Let's see if it's got anything in the pictures. Can't really see the bottom where it would be. Anyway, so right now this has got 7 bits, $125. Looks nice. Looks in great shape. Hopefully these plastics are going to hold up better than the beige plastics have. This is coming out of Santa Rosa, California. $90 shipping, which is understandable. This is a lot of stuff to ship. Still has the boxes, which is very nice. What else can I say? This is pretty good. It's got some interest. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got the original packaging, which looks pristine.
Pristine, yeah.
And yeah, I mean, original studio display. I mean, all the boxes. This is a
Right.
nice setup right here.
That is a very nice setup. Yeah, and obviously it started it at a nice low price for it to just kind of naturally build versus trying some ridiculous starting bid. Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's some risk, right, that there might be something wrong with it. But a newer Mac like this, relatively newer.
Also, if there is something, finding replacement bits and pieces for it probably wouldn't be too difficult.
Right. Yeah, and what we say, another day to go. Yeah, nice. This looks like you can see the picture in the back, like a warehouse or something, a resale place.
Yeah, I see some. What looks like I see was a classic on its side.
It does look like that, yeah.
It does, yeah, over on the right hand side. And,
Yeah.
what looks like
Is that
an
what
Apple
it-
II
yeah.
monitor of some sort.
That is a Monitor 3, I think, right there.
Yeah.
All kinds of interesting stuff in the background. All right. Okay, let's move along. Let's see. What do we got here? Oh, well.
Oh, one of these. Oh, wait.
Well, you say
Okay.
one of these now.
Ah, yeah.
No.
It took me a
It's
moment.
it's one of those.
One of those and not one of these, right?
Yes. So one of these, what you
I
thought
didn't
it
know
was,
that they
was
did these.
did I know this either? I can't remember seeing one of
All right,
these
all right,
things
all right.
either. All right, what are we
Audio
talking
podcast. What we're talking about is a Macintosh SE poster, but it's done in that style, kind of the airbrushed. You can semi see through the back of the shell to the innards.
Yeah, there's a great one of the original Macintosh when it
Right.
came out. This cutaway sketch of it. It's one of the great original Mac posters. That
Gorgeous,
one
yeah.
and the Picasso poster, right? But apparently there was one for the SE as well. It's a different angle.
Yeah.
And it's got descriptions in it. It's almost. Is this thing authentic? Let's see if the description gives us any details. The space between the Macintosh and SE is bothering me a lot.
So here it is, down on the lower left. This poster is available from Poster Dynamics. 100
Yeah,
Ferguson
what does that
Boulevard.
mean? It says
Coffee.
was issued by them in '88 or something. So it's like somebody,
So,
like this other company did it.
yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that Apple logo does look, I don't know, it looks wide. It looks, the stripes
Yeah.
width
And it would be in the
is
lower
off.
right, maybe instead of the
Yeah.
lower left. Yeah, I think this was one that somebody, yeah, it says right there in the bottom corner
But on
of the
the other
poster.
side, it does say Macintosh and Apple logo are registered trademarks of Apple Computer Incorporated. Poster
Well,
Dynamics is not affiliated with Apple Computer.
no.
This poster is from 1998 by
Yeah. Poster
Poster
Dynamics.
Dynamics.
So I guess they took it upon themselves to
Make their
make
own?
one for the SE. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. They did a nice job. It's got a little
Yeah.
tear there. Nice descriptions throughout. Um,
But they're
no.
certainly pricing it like it's a
Yeah.
old, authentic, original something by
Right.
Apple.
I mean, yeah. At $1,000 to buy it now, or make an offer. It's located in Huntsville, Alabama. Kind of cool find, curiosity. It's they didn't quite pull it off because we started seeing things and like this doesn't look right. But anyway, nice poster. Not $1,000 poster. I'm sorry. All right. Yeah. Nope.
Let's see. Yeah. Let me go ahead and pop a link for this into. Here you go. For the poster. Come on. There you go.
Come on. Come on.
That should hopefully show up in the feed.
All right.
Yep,
Why
there
is
it
somebody going
goes.
to buy the
Okay.
poster? Is that what's happening?
I think they just wanted to
Oh.
see more, the pictures in better detail, perhaps.
Oh, okay. All right. You ready to go? I got
Oh,
some
yeah,
notes
hang on.
too
You got some
on
notes?
Mm-hmm.
All
I
right.
can prepare that. I can provide the background.
Let's bring it up.
All right. In 3, 2, 1. When I was moving to the new house and setting up the new Macintosh office, I had to go through a lot of stuff that had been squirreled away in my attic for nearly decades, at least a decade or more. And among the treasures in the attic was this portrait display, the Macintosh portrait display.
But not that portrait display.
Not that one. No. I'm throwing an ad up here for Radius because they're actually the ones that beat Apple to the punch, releasing a portrait display. They released one in '88. And here's the ad for the ultimate tool of the trade. It made a lot of sense to have a monitor. Well, so WYSIWYG, right? What you see is what you get. Was awesome. But you couldn't quite see what you got if you only could see a part of it.
Right, when you have to scroll up and down.
Yeah. And there was a lot of, obviously, word processing, page layout, kind of desktop publishing, the whole thing. Everything was the rage. And wouldn't it be nice if you could look at that whole page at roughly the size it was going to print out, right? Awesome idea. And so that's the idea of the portrait display. Radius had one in '88. Apple thought that's a good idea. And they came out with one in '89. Now, this monitor was not cheap. Well, nothing from Apple was cheap in those days.
No.
Introduced on March 7th, 1989. The cost of the monitor by itself, some places I saw $1,049, some places I saw $1,099, $1,099. But that wouldn't even let you do anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You had to add a video card, a special video card. And that would set you back $599. So that's an $89. If you take the total, $3,700, and project that forward today, or I'm sorry, that would be $3,700. Yes, $3,700 in today's dollars.
Wow.
Just for the monitor and the video card. So you have a display resolution of 640 by 870, 256 shades of gray, up
Yep.
to anti-glare screen, flat screen. This kind of special connector. 35 pounds for the whole thing. And a couple cool things. Did you? So the power button's on the back, but there's also a 3-port ADB hub.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool if you were, if you had your system somewhere else. The Macintosh 2 took up a lot of desk space, so maybe you would have back in the day, stashed it somewhere else or whatever. So yes, you could daisy chain your ADB from your computer to the back of the monitor, and then it had 2 ADB ports on there, so you could plug the mouse and keyboard, or maybe a scanner or something else up to the back of the monitor, your printer, what have you. Yes, it had a built-in hub on the back, which is very nice.
So we found this monitor in my attic, and it had I think the yellowing. I mean, it was sitting in the dark.
It's very even if you compare it next to the Quadra 700 sitting next to it. I don't know how well you can see it in the picture. It is a very tan monitor.
Yeah. So is there a retro writing in its future, you think?
I could see that. I've not actually retrobrighted anything yet. I did do the method of just I had a Apple II lid that I put out into the sun, and that actually did brighten it up, so it was about the same as the rest of the Apple II. 2E, I should say, not 2, because a lot of the 2s, I don't have a 2, I have a 2 Plus. But yeah, you can see, ta-da, it is.
And great. With the appropriately of the era, was that a CX or is that
this is a Quadra 700,
a little newer.
which I'm glad. All right, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
You were talking about the video card. Later Macintoshes had built-in support for the portrait display. You didn't need a special card. Yeah. The cable on the back of this thing is very odd. It's not one I'd seen before.
It's false. I hope it just falls asleep. It didn't just.
It just fell. No, it didn't just die. It's dead. No. And I forget who, and I'm sorry about this, but when we first kind of brought this up, somebody in the chat mentioned that they had a cable they could send to me so I could test it. But once I read that you didn't need a card for later Macintosh models, I found the cable that has the regular 15-pin Macintosh connection on one end and the portrait display on the other for about $30 for the cable. Okay. And I decided just to take the chance, and I got it, and lo and behold, ta-da. Yeah, it works. Yes, no smoke, please, indeed. I
didn't realize that option existed, so that's great.
Yep.
Somewhere in my boxes, I do have the cable, and I think the card, because I think I got it all together. So maybe.
Yeah, if you ever run across those, let me know. Yeah, because I do have. I've got a 2CI that my friend Mike is going to get me eventually, and it would be great to have, the kind of proper computer for it to sit on, because it does look really good when it's sitting on one of those.
CX or CI, it was sort of sized, right? It looks that's like the perfect setup for it.
Yep.
And I see you've written Apple Portrait Display.
Yeah. So fortunately, I just so happened that the only thing I actually had loaded on to this is a Marathon, because it's got a 601 card in it.
Oh wow.
So, but I didn't have. Fortunately, it just so happened it had AppleWorks on it. So yes, I was able to play around with AppleWorks this morning. So obviously I've got the Paint program up right now, and it is kind of cool being able to see a full screen of what you're drawing at one time.
Yeah, as long as it's on grayscale.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which I mean, if you think back then, all the a lot of the desktop publishing, they were printing to black and white laser printers. They were it was all grayscale. It wasn't really that much of an issue, I don't think.
Now you were talking when we were getting ready for the show about simulating the experience of having a
Yeah,
portrait
so
display.
if anyone wants to kind of see what this looks like, if you go over to griffle.com, the guy who does Mini VMAC, and he's got a variation service, one of the things you can do is get a version of Mini VMAC that's emulating the Macintosh 2, and one of the standard options for the display when you're going through the drop-down menus is 640 by 870. So you can actually set up Mini VMAC with a portrait display if you want to
Neat.
kind of play around with it, try it yourself.
And so you could even make it even taller and narrower if you wanted to, right?
Oh yeah, well you can go in and you can specify
Mess around with
specific. Yeah, you can go way in, but if you just go to the kind of the more generic Macintosh 2,
Yeah.
it's just an option right there. So
I got it. And so is the double, the 2-page display? Because Apple also had the gigantic 2-page display. Where you,
sure, I'm sure you. I don't know if that's one of the default ones, but
Yeah.
again, if you knew what the resolution was, you could do that as a custom.
That's
resolution.
another monitor. I don't have one of those. You don't have one of those.
No.
That I don't know what that thing. This thing weighs 35. That one's got to at least be double that. That would be a monitor to have, but be scary to ship something like that. Anyway, well, I'm glad it works. That's a miracle to be sitting in a hot Florida attic year after year, 10, 15
Right.
years, right? And given all the other issues with monitors and computers as they age, just sitting in a climate-controlled room, that this beast and here's another thing to point out. I meant to mention this, that these monitors were noticeably finicky anyway. They had this thing called dynamic raster distortion, and in the I think in the troubleshooting books for this things, they specifically told you should not set these monitors like near large metal desks or filing cabinets or even
Really?
in proximity to large electrical appliances. Even coffee makers were called out. So yeah, that they were very finicky. The display would flicker, and like even if you had the coolest setup and you had a pair of these things, like specifically if you set them next to each other, they would
They would interfere with each other.
Yeah,
Wow.
it tells you just
all right.
the solution is to keep pushing them apart until they don't do that anymore.
That's useful, right?
Yeah. So that'd be a good experiment. I don't know if you have anything in the someday you can take something large metal or something, a coffee maker even.
Right. Yeah. I'll just bring a coffee maker out.
Or Keurig as they call them now, and put it near there and see if you can. Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good job. I was kind of hoping it would just there'd be a poof of smoke while we were doing the show, just for drama. But no, it's still going. Look at that.
I know, man.
All right.
I'm so happy. Oh, the screensaver I'm using is called Mac Dim. It was you can of course find it, I'm sure, over at Macintosh Garden, and had a couple of different modules for it. And this particular one is probably one of the lesser processor intensive ones. And it's just called Fireballs. It looks great on a color monitor. You can really customize it.
And of course, it's not really set up to be flickering like that, right? It's
no, it's nice and steady here. That's just
just so
camera
people
on our screen refresh, right?
If you're not familiar with the syncing issues that occur with an old CRT, then. All right. Let's see. What are we doing now? Are we off to the news? Are we there yet?
I think we are on the news.
Okay. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Well, the Apple event has come and gone. And did you watch it, John? Did you see all the big announcements?
No. I was.
There weren't any big announcements. At least if you were expecting to see new hardware or fancy new Macs, right? Instead, we just got refreshes of all the iOS related devices, the phones, the, the iPads, the watch. Um, none of the intriguing rumors came to be.
Yeah, we're still waiting for a
So
new desktop system, man, with the right.
yes, and pro level M1 based Macs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll have to wait for another event later this year. But I suppose if you're needing an upgrade to any of these things, um, now's no time like now to jump into that. Are you in the market? How old's your iPhone?
Um, I don't know, 3 years. I pretty much just use them until they are unusable, and then I get another one. I'm not a
Yeah.
upgrade every year type of guy.
Right. Yeah, and what can you say about it? Everything is just like, well, the display's a little bit better, the camera's a little bit better, maybe the battery life's a little longer. I think we've sort of reached that stage with these sorts of devices. There's still more and more they can keep trying to pack into the little watch, but I think we've been on a plateau, right, for new features and innovation for this platform for quite a while. All right, well, I meant to mention this last week. Didn't get around to it. There's this designer, Andrea Coppolino, who filled the void of Apple giving us something cool at an event, and he has designed a reimagined iPod. It's been 20 years since the original iPod debuted, and so he took it upon himself to sort of merge the modern design aesthetics with the classic iPod design. And there's a great video out there. I'm not going to play it, but I'll show here that it's called iPod Classic 2021 Concept. Why not? And he walks you through kind of a little bit of the history and then kind of the design language and how he merged it all together to give these really cool. And I think it's awesome. I mean, we're about there, right? Where, yeah, nobody's really carrying iPods anymore, but maybe you'd carry this one, right, with the full touchscreen interface,
Sure, right.
cool design. You have a dedicated music player. Kind of this idea where you can go listen to some music and nobody's going to interrupt you because it can't receive calls or texts or tweets or anything else to interrupt your music playing experience. Plus, you could do something with something like this. You could have like real headphone jacks, perhaps, or
Yes, that would be nice.
other things, right? Anyway, great little video. I think I would buy one if reasonably priced, of course.
Right.
And gosh, I got to show some Nanoraptor creations from Dana Sabera. This one right here, she says she has a soft spot for zip drive. She does a lot of zip drive based concepts. This one right here would have been awesome. It's a a trio of zip drives in the same enclosure.
So you can do array of zip drives.
Could. Right. So then when you have, I guess if you did it that way, the click of death would be like a drum line of.
Oh, also, if you ejected them all at once, you'd have to do this because
Yeah, they.
Do you remember how forcefully some of those would eject back in the day?
Mm-hmm.
You'd hit the end of it you'd have to have a catcher's mitt there just to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this would be a great thing to have for copying and like a RAID or whatever.
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah, awesome. And then there was the Macintosh Quadra 200 was an over-engineered delight. Designed small for cramped student accommodation, only minor modifications were needed to take a 6400 or 65 logic port, giving access to G3 upgrades and relatively simple 832 by 624 screen.
Well, that's actually not that different than you can actually do that to a color classic. You can put a 6400 board in a Color Classic. I have one.
So she's got like a, what is that, like a Color Classic case,
Yeah, but in a
right?
right. Well,
Or
no, it's
not a
a,
Color
a
Classic, no,
classic
standard
classic
Classic.
case.
Classic
Right.
case, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got the little pinhole on the side there, and then Macintosh Quadra, and it's color screen though, which is cool. And what is that? A Caddy CD drive in the front? I think so.
Okay, or slot loading perhaps.
Slot line? No, it looks too
Slot
wide.
machine, fruit machine,
All
or
right.
poker machine, a type of casino game.
There we go. There's the answer. Alexa coming in there just when you don't want her. Yeah. So you got that, and then one more thing. Oh, back to the zip disk.
Oh.
There was the ZVD 300, the zip video disc, contained up to 300 megabytes of relatively medium resolution video and mono sound. The format failed mostly because first generation ZVD player supported neither NTSC nor PAL. Now, that's convincing.
Funny.
That looks legit, right? The ZVD 300.
Right.
And look at that. They distributed Empire Strikes Back on that thing.
Well, I don't know if do you remember VCDs? Do you remember them?
Right, on a regular CD-ROM.
Regular CD-ROM, yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
it's kind of
this really isn't that much of a stretch. That's you might have to have two to get the full movie. Have to flip it out halfway.
Intermission. Yeah, that is very, very funny there. So anyway, those are all on her Twitter feed at NanoRaptor.
So Steve Mac84 mentioned that he just put a Daystar digital product reference notebook on CD-ROM over on Macintosh Garden. So I'm gonna check that out. The processor card I've actually got in here is actually one of the Apple ones that was made by Daystar, but so I don't know if I thought about trying to put the Daystar control panel on it to see if it gives me any more features than Apple's.
Okay. Well.
Oh, it's yeah. So if you use Dana's previous product, and you did have the video split over two discs, you'd just be able to put both zips in right away for both sides of the movie and just have it swap over automatically. So I mean, it solves its own problem.
All right. Well, I guess we can close out the show.
Yeah. So do you think you're going to be able to next week?
I think it'll be the week after next before
week
I can
after
talk to Myra.
So next week we do have possibly we could get Steve on to talk about the Vintage Computer Festival Midwest.
Yeah, Steve, you want to do that? Is that open in your calendar? If so, that'd be a great one. We'll see if he responds.
Yeah,
We can lock that in. If not, we'll just talk about that as a possibility. Oh, whenever, what day? A week from today.
Yeah, next Sunday.
Yes.
80.
All right, you want to go live? I mean, record? Let's record.
All right, let's do it.
All right, in 3, 2, 1. Okay, well, that about wraps it up. Next week, we got confirmation. This is great. I can do all this real time. Next week, we will get Steve, a.k.a. Mac84, his report from Vintage Computer Festival Midwest. He attended,
yes.
Was it last weekend? Weekend before?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Last weekend? Yes. Made the trip out there. I'm sure he had lots of fun. We'll hear all about it. I saw some of the pictures. Looked like a great event. Very well attended. Lots of good stuff. We'll see if he scored any stuff. Many new friends. What he learned, what he did. So that'll be fun. And I think maybe, yes, the week after we'll do the part 2 on the Latch Hook Rugs wall hanging edition, where I'll interview Myra about that. Great bit of Apple history there. Anything else, John?
Nothing on my end.
Anything we need to talk to? We need to thank everybody in the chat for joining us. We are doing this live each and every week on YouTube at 8 a.m. Central. Join us in the chat. Interact with us. I enjoy it a lot.
It's been a lot of fun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, until next week, remember, it's not old.
It's retro.
I don't know if people in the chat notice my glowing Apple logo in the back. I changed it up a little bit. John had printed a sticker for it with the 6 colors, and I tore that off so I could shine the light through it. There's one of those Govee smart lamps sitting behind there, and I've got it on right now just to cycle through colors.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
So I think I could turn it down a little bit. It's a little too bright. It's like kind of blasting.
Yeah, it's like when I have a monitor
right
behind me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that cool
I have to turn the brightness way down on the monitors to make them show up on the camera pretty well.
Uh-huh.
Same thing with your light there. Yeah, when you turned it down, that really popped the color.
Yeah, and I'm experimenting with the lighting here. Like I have all kinds of cool things that I can do now because I love technology, programmable from my phone. Oops, the cops are here. Hold on. Lots of different effects here, but all right, I'm getting a little nauseous. Hold on. Okay, well, I guess we're done, huh?
I think that's it. Hey, guys, thanks everyone for
Thank you
for joining us. It's always awesome being able to chat with everyone.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Bye. Everyone.